kind of kept low, kept skidding, all kinds of stuff.
Okay, guys. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Cricket Wana. 1 day left before the IPL final. Well, not even 1 day. It's almost exactly 12 hours left.
12 hours.
Yeah.
For the toss.
We are here to review the IPL 2021, 14th edition of IPL. Elrigu gottu, half of it was played in India in summer, and then due to COVID, it was stopped. And then luckily they were able to complete the second leg in UAE, arrange the schedules very well, and here we are. I have with me Somu, and thank you Sridhara for setting this up, and myself Kashyap. So we are waiting for a couple more usual suspects, but we can continue. Somana, so first leg Mugdaga, we had said that I don't think anybody deviated from the top three, which was Chennai, Delhi, and Bangalore. We thought, those three will definitely make it, and there was a big gamble for the fourth team. I don't remember if anyone picked KKR at that time, and we were all in the, of the opinion that I think you can't keep Mumbai away, right? So I think it was most likely going to be Mumbai. It's very hard to keep them away. And
correct.
At that time, table they were still fourth, but we know they were not at their best. But wow, what a turnaround from KKR. They were 7th placed at the end of first leg. But in UAE, including the 2 playoff games, they have won 7 out of 9.
7 out of 9.
And 4-0 in Sharjah. So let's start with KKR.
Yeah. In fact, you know what? I think when Morgan was asked the previous day, when they won the previous game, and they said, Sharjah, we have won. We have a good shot at beating Delhi and held on. He didn't say we're going to beat him. I think, the Sharjah, wicket seeming to help our bowlers. And if we win, he said, if we win the toss, we're going to put them to bat. You almost predicted what would happen. Almost. I'm not saying he would. That was with any confidence, but he thought about it. And in fact, now probably when we all got together, I picked KKR for some reason. The wicket with Chakravarti and obviously Shakib, and I thought they had a good shot at it. And obviously, with Venkatesh Iyer and the opening stand, they really played a phenomenal, game. So I thought about it, but again, I'm going to go on a limb and say I'm going to pick KKR for tomorrow anyway.
Oh wow! You stole my question. So you, in the final, okay, good. Okay, so you're backing KKR.
I'm backing KKR.
Do you want it or you feel it?
I feel it. I want it, and to be honest with you, I like the young talent there. Honestly, it's not a name recognized team that includes Morgan for that matter. Nobody would put Morgan into any team. Okay, and he marshaled the resources and the talent that he has, the local talent basically. And mind you, without the star players, they're winning games.
Yeah. Exactly. No Russell. In fact, Morgan and Dhoni, for everybody's information, they are the two. Yes, Dhoni captaincy, of course, Morgan captaincy, and Dhoni's keeping, and even Morgan's fielding has been excellent. But the primary role of both of them, they are actually the 2 worst captains in terms of batting in this series. They both have at a strike rate of I think 99 and 105, and a sub, I think something like averaging in the teens or something. So but even without that, seeing the youngsters, especially in KKR, and of course the usual guys from CSK, Faf and Bravo and Jadeja, but of course we need to we have to spend a few minutes on Ruturaj later. But yeah, I mean, one thing, Nanda opinion always been that CSK doing well has not really done very good for Indian cricket in a way, because ನೀವೇ ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ old and tested players.
Correct.
There's nothing really new. I mean, yes, this time Ruturaj, but overall, there hasn't been much of. I mean, they picked Jadeja after he was already a superstar, and then
Correct.
Dhoni has been great in IPL, even in batting before, but he never did anything in T20I, to be frank.
No, he has not done much at all.
For India, he never did anything. I mean, in fact, he scored only 150, and that was like in his last game, or maybe one game before his last game. Right? So, KKR has always produced. KKR in even Hyderabad, and of course Mumbai. I think they are the leaders in that. Providing great quality future stars for India, and in that way. But yeah, Vinay, welcome. We have a third member, Vinay, here. We just started talking about the resurgence of KKR in UAE. They did 5-2 in the league games in UAE, whereas they were 2-5 in India. And then, of course, now 2-0 in playoffs, and they are in the finals. So, yeah, any quick word on KKR's form?
I mean, just because I just joined, hopefully I'm not repeating what you guys have already said, but I think it all just comes down to, Morgan's leadership, his utilizing his bowlers and shuffling them well and things. And I think everyone likes to talk about the mystery spinners, right? And I think that they're really showing out, and it's awesome to see with Narayan with his new action, and Chakravarti, doing so well. And I mean, me and my dad were talking about this while watching the match, but it's really exciting to see Venkatesh Iyer too as that lefty opening batsman. I think he's fantastic, and he's probably going to give Padikkal a run for his money in terms of a lefty opener. I mean, the kind of confidence he plays with is unbelievable. So,
and especially now that he has a second skill in bowling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can already feel that he might be picked above Devdutt already.
Yeah.
If and when the opportunity comes for India.
Obviously, he's a very good batsman. I just want to mention one shot he hit of Rabada yesterday. Then Vinay held that. This is an audacious shot that he hit.
The hook shot.
I mean, it's unbelievable. He took him right in front and went boom. I tell you. I mean, look, the two
he didn't even rock back. I see.
He didn't really care what he was going to do. He went. The other thing is, and from the standpoint of Venkatesh Iyer being a nobody and Rabada being the almost number one, bowler till this year.
Yeah.
And he hit him. He took him. I tell you, it's unbelievable. I think again, I have to go back to what Vinay said, which I said. But for Morgan, I don't think anybody would have brought them to the finals. There's a lot to be said about Morgan's captaincy in handling the bowling and the batting and the way he's communicating with the team. That is a tremendous advantage to all the youngsters, making it bigger and bigger and better.
Yeah, you cannot deny Morgan, of his captaincy credit for the turnaround, but I think I also feel it's been McCullum's contribution as well.
Correct.
Because even I heard between the two legs, all these months of gap, KKR, especially Brendan McCullum, he did a lot of homework, and he was in constant touch with Morgan and Narayan and others, and he was the one who Morgan disclosed yesterday that he was the one who said, okay, Iyer is ready, right? Yeah. I mean, he's been tracking Iyer. He was picked for a very base amount. I think it was what 20 lakhs or whatever.
20 lakhs or no?
Yeah. So on an itkonidru, but then he never played in Indian leg. So starting in the second half of the season and going all the way, in the top of the batsman's chart, and making that kind of an impact from an uncapped player, I don't see anyone else has done that in this kind of an effect in their debut season.
Yeah. And Michael Hussey, not Michael, David Hussey said, he was so complimentary of obviously McCullum and what the groundwork they did. And also he said, even it was no off season for them because they were constantly in touch with Morgan. They were communicating from New Zealand to England, and they were talking about this. They were strategizing. They said, hey, they have 7 games. They still can do it. And the other things which I read, I can't remember where I read it. They knew they are going to do well, especially in the Sharjah, because that suited the spinners. And it said, you know what? I mean, we're going to do well. So they knew about it, and they, and I wish, look, Andre Russell, he probably would have done, I don't know if it would have any effect or not, but it doesn't matter anymore.
He's been quite silent for the last 2 seasons, actually. Yadav, seasonal 1 game, maybe, he just blasts off, but, he hasn't been as consistent as he was 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
So
earlier in India, he got 5 for 15 or something like that. He had a great, bowling. I think 1 game, if I remember right.
Exactly. So this time, and just to note that it's the battle. The final is the battle between 2 New Zealand coaches, Stephen Fleming and Brendan McCullum.
What I read,
the first time it's the 2 World Cup winning captains playing the IPL.
Yes. And you know what they were talking about? What if Andre is totally fit tomorrow? Would they play him on that? And the consensus was they may not play him.
I don't know I think even if he's 80% fit, they might get him in. But again, because of the World Cup situation, I don't know how that plays out. But
and they have to drop Shakib. There's no other, or Morgan. There's no other, Indian bidside, not drop madakagalla.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Narayan, Ferguson, Brat Kashta. Maybe Ferguson, if Russell is fit for bowling, then, they can get another Indian pacer and drop other batsman.
Bring Prasidh Krishna, you mean?
Nah.
I mean,
the other one with Mavi, Nagarkoti.
Nagarkoti, yeah.
All right. So moving on to CSK, they were the first one to be eliminated last year. But they showed some glimpse of what they can do in the last 3 games of the last year's league after being eliminated. They won 3 games, including beating RCB and denting their chances of going to top 2 and other. They did some impact, including all 3 games were won by Ruturaj Gaikwad's 50+.
Correct.
He's been continuing the same form in this year. CSK has been the only team which is consistent in Indian leg and the UAE. Actually, you should say RCB too. They both did exactly the same. 5-2 in India, 4-3 in UAE. But of course, RCB lost badly.
Delhi blew everybody away with 20 points. But
All right. So on CSK, wanted to ask about Dhoni and his contribution in terms of, I think he has that magic Midas touch when it comes to captaincy in IPL. He knows the matchups very well. He doesn't really talk about it. I don't think he advertises the data and the other things that the other teams and captains boast of. But I think he has that knack of
he's such a good reader of the game. Instincts take over all the time. That includes whether he's going to go for a DRS. It's all instincts. Okay. He trusts his people and he goes with the instinct majority of the times. I mean, a bowling change or a fielding placement, he has got that innate knack of reading something that a normal captain wouldn't be able to do that. So that's my this thing. It's a gut feeling. Sometimes you go with the gut feeling. It may not be statistically right to do that at that time, but gut feeling is what it is, and that's what it matters when you're in the field. And that's if you have to take a decision in a minute or so, that's what's more important, and that's what you have seen time and time again. So, especially
when spinners are in play, I think there's no better captain than him. I mean, yeah, it's not a secret. He's never been a great tactician in terms of fast bowling, or when
No.
you go abroad, or I mean, even more so in test matches. But yeah, white ball, spinning pitches. When you have 2 or 3 good spinners at his disposal, I think no one better than him.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to do a quick exercise. Now that we are at the end of IPL 2021, anyone wants to start building the dream 11 of this season?
You go ahead, and I'll have my team.
We'll start with the openers, right? I mean, so basically, to me, I would just go with the top 2 orange cap contenders, Ruturaj and Rahul.
There's no no contest there.
Yes. There's Faf who did well. There's Iyer too, and sometimes Gill too, but yeah, no one. I don't think we can look beyond Rahul and Ruturaj.
Yeah.
At this point, no, because of course Rahul has to be there, and Ruturaj has done extremely well. Not in terms of runs, but the way he has batted. You remember that 90-yard whatever he played the entire 20 overs or whatever that was? I think that's what it matters. He could go on bat for the entire 20 overs. I mean, that's what you need sometimes. So
I think we'll see a much better and likable and more intent from Rahul in the World Cup, because he knows he has Rohits, Rahuls, and Pants behind him, and not the underperforming Puran and Markram and Deepak Huda or anyone that he need to carry. So I think that's what you saw in the last game against CSK. Boy, what a knock that was!
What a knock that was! I only saw the commentary, but I did not.
They chased it down they chased it down in 13 overs. I think that's what makes him. I think, but one thing we need to be careful about Rahul is that we also know that if there is no pressure of the qualifying or the points and the run rate, he can do such wonders. But then it also means that if there is any little bit of pressure, he can go into a shell, and I need to watch out for that. We don't know if Rahul is going to open for India, with Rohit, Ishan Kishan, and Kohli, and we'll get to the World Cup later. But so Rahul and Ruturaj, any contest there?
Mm-mm.
All right. I feel Glenn Maxwell has to be at 4. The way he has performed, he's been it's one of the best tournament performances by anyone in the middle order for me. I know the way he has
consistency is what matters.
Consistent, the intent, the strike rate, the way he has bailed out the team a couple of times, and including successful chases. He has been
and also a couple of good overs too.
Yeah, exactly. Bowling and of course fielding. So it was a huge turnaround from boundaryless season last year with Punjab. 6-less season. I think he hit a few 4s. Who cares? But so, but who's your number 3 though? I was thinking maybe get Faf, or Moeen Ali has done well in parts for CSK. Anybody? Shreyas Iyer for Delhi?
No. Hold on, let me see. I've got it written down.
Tripathi. I don't mind Tripathi though.
The problem is Tripathi has about 400 runs. Okay.
Yeah.
It's good runs.
Yeah. He's been doing well.
I'm more again. Tripathi is good, but I would go in for Shubman Gill for some reason, because he's gotten runs and he can play. And you know what? The good thing about him is he can go on the front foot, play a shot with the horizontal bat, not a horizontal bat. That's more important to me. Okay, technically, I think that he's much so better, and also younger kid, and I would say he's got a lot of runs too. So my pick is Gill.
All right.
I like Sanju Samson at 3. But it's tough because I have KL on my team and I don't need another wicket
I know.
keeper. So.
Well,
but there's not many standout 3s, I think is the point here, is that the middle order is brittle.
Speaking of keepers, I was leaning towards Pant at 5.
Let me ask you a question. I know you guys are Pant, but why would I want to play Pant? I would probably play a batsman who I can say that he's going to get runs. I will have Rahul as a wicketkeeper. Just in the conversation.
Sure. Well, then who would be that batter?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think the thing with Pant, and it's again a philosophical discussion, because a lot of people are asking is he just better suited to be an opener in T20, right? To give him the kind of balls to be aggressive, hit in the power play because he likes to loft the ball, and when he comes in, he either just straight away gets out or he feels like he's a little bogged down. I don't know if necessarily 4 or 5 really is where he comes. I don't know if it's a good position for him, to be honest. And I don't think he succeeded this IPL in that position much. So I would be interested to see how he would look maybe next year when there's 10 teams, if he were to be on a team and they opened with him. I don't know if he'd be more successful that way. So I don't even see him as a 5, to be honest.
Okay. All right, then.
You know what? I honestly, okay. Let's do this. I'm going to go with Gill, number 3. Okay.
Maxwell at 4.
Okay, then I'm going to go Maxwell. I'm going to go with Williamson in 5.
I just saw this name that I thought, oh boy, we need to get this guy. He was striking at the rate of 170. Shimron Hetmeyer. Yeah, I think more than Williamson. Williamson didn't do much. I mean, he captained well, but I mean, his strike rate was 110. You can't have you need that intent merchants, as they call.
I'm looking for stability at number 5.
Do we want that though? I mean, with the
big baker, yeah. See,
5, I don't know if you want a stable guy and sacrifice the intent and the strike rate at that time, because I think
there's always been. I mean, this is my thoughts. I'm just
right.
out.
Yeah.
So Rishabh is out according to what we are talking.
Yeah, Rahul can keep. No Pant. Between Williamson and Hetmeyer at 5. Williamson might be too low for 5 though. I mean, for his kind of play.
Yeah, true.
He's probably suited for either 3 or even open, just like Kohli does.
3 is probably the ideal, but with Gill coming in, we have to have 4 foreigners anyway. So you know what? Before we go online, can we nail down on the 4 foreign players?
I think again it depends on the positions though, right? So I mean, so we know Maxwell for sure.
Yeah.
I didn't see much of any all-rounders middle order, because Pollard didn't do much. There was no Russell. I don't think we can call Narayan as an all-rounder.
No.
Do you have to play 4? Do you have to play 4 overseas players?
Why not?
I mean,
maximum of 4, but I mean, if you have more than
I just feel like there was no standout overseas players at all.
Yeah, exactly.
I almost feel like it's almost a full, other than Maxwell, mine's a full Indian team, to be honest. I don't think there's any other foreigners, which is why, I mean, I think we should just go with that and keep the Indians.
Yeah, I feel so too. Like, between.
Oh, okay, so you're not picking
maybe one of Faf for Hetmeyer, but I mean, because it's top heavy already, I think I still think Hetmeyer did wonderfully well as a finisher, at 5 or 6 or whatever. But in bowling front, again, it was all Indians. I mean, as you can see, in top 10, there's only Rashid Khan, and I don't think even Rashid Khan was that.
Rashid Khan didn't do much at all this year. No, I would have Venki and I would have Chakravarti and Chahal.
Yuzvendra Chahal, Chakravarti, and of course, I think in pace department you can go with Harshal and Avesh.
Would you go Avesh? I would go Harshal, but I'm not too sure about Avesh, to be honest with you.
I do Harshal.
Actually, you know what? You're right. I would still prefer Bumrah over Avesh, because he was amazing in the Indian leg, and I mean, he was never poor anyway. I mean, but you can say, I mean, he's still number 3. Silently, he's got 21 wickets, just 2 wickets less than Avesh for playing 2
games. I would go I'm Australian.
Australia.
What's it? What the fast bowler? CSK.
Hazelwood.
Hazelwood.
Really?
My three fast bowlers were Bumrah, Harshal Patel, and Shami.
Shami was good too in the death as well.
Shami played well, yeah.
Yeah, and his economy was really good. Shami and Bumrah were like pretty much the same with Varun
Jaddo?
and
Jaddo?
Jaddu. I think that's what I was getting into that last position. Like he's the only all-rounder that can fit in this. I mean, this year there was no real all-rounder who came up. No Russell, no Pollard, of course, no Hardik.
Thakur was okay.
Who?
Thakur Shardul was okay.
He didn't bat though. He was good in bowling, yes, no doubt. But I mean, I don't think he will make it to the final 11. But not even as a bowler, and definitely not as an all-rounder, because he didn't. I mean, fortunately or unfortunately, fortunately for CSK, he didn't. I think he has faced only 6 deliveries throughout the season.
Hold that.
Yeah, Shardul Thakur. I think he only faced 6 balls or something. I heard a couple of games ago. So I don't know. And in the playoff, the first qualifier, he just got out in his first ball. So I think we have it now, right?
I had him at 6 for me. I had Jadeja at 6. So
Jadeja at 6. Yeah, I think so too. With Jadeja at 6, he gives you that 6th bowling as well.
Not only that, he's an X factor. He can make some huge, stops and a great catch and a wicket here, a wicket there, and a couple of good big hits coming in if you really need.
But only thing is with our team, I mean, just it goes with our logic that because we don't have any good all-rounders this season, our dream team lacks the lower order depth, because Jadeja at 6, you have five very good bowlers with no batting pedigree. Harshal, Bumrah, Shami, Varun, and Chahal. There's a lot of number 10s and 11s in this team. But hey, that's the fun of it, right? I mean, they're not going to play a game anyway. So,
I actually had Kohli at my 3 too. I was thinking Sanju, but I think I might put Kohli at 3. Just for some, I mean, he didn't perform relatively great, but he scored some. So
he is my eternal number 3 for anything anyway. But I mean, I don't know this time, but yeah. I mean,
so okay. Obviously, you guys have Kohli, and who's going to be the captain? Rahul?
Yeah, that's what it looks like right now, unless you make
Rahul. Kohli has given up captaincy, so we can.
I might make Maxwell my captain.
I would say Rahul did a better job in captaining than Kohli under the circumstances in So,
all right, there you go. We have it. Rahul, Ruturaj, Kohli, Maxwell, Hetmeyer, Jadeja, Harshal, Shami, Varun, Chahal, Bumrah.
My God, you got a longest tail, man.
I know.
It's longer than the top order.
I know. Well, but I mean, if you have Rahul and Rutu at the top, you don't need the tail.
That's true. 100-run partnership. They
will always have a 15-over opening partnership, I guess.
Yeah. 15 over, they are good.
All right. So with that, let's move a little away from this particular season. Just a quick round. As you all know, there are 2 more teams being added for next year. It will be a 10-team competition. And as you know, this might be the last time we saw such a wonderful congregation of superstars in Mumbai Indians. I mean, they gave a fantastic final game for what it's worth. I like their intent that yes, it was almost impossible, but they still won when they won the toss, they just batted first because that was the only chance to win by a margin of more than 160 plus runs, which happens once in a decade somewhere. But I mean, but they still went for it. And then, I mean, it was a fantastic game.
Do we know that who the 2 teams are?
Ishan and Surya came back to form, which is great for Indian either. But I want to ask a question here. Hopefully there's no hunch already, but which two cities do you want to see as the new teams?
I think one is obvious already, right, with the new stadium. So I think Ahmedabad is given.
Absolutely.
That's
I mean,
given.
Gujarat deserves a team. Anyway.
Gujarat deserves
That's
one.
given.
Yeah.
So I think that's.
So
I
Gujarat
think it's
Lions
really
are back again.
Yeah. It'll be.
I don't think so. I think
It'll be a different.
Yeah, you never know. But yeah.
I think so. That one's set in stone. I think we got to debate the other one. The second one is a little tough.
Yeah, who are the other odds we have?
No idea. So I'm going. I mean, I think we have enough from the south.
Who are the other 4 cities that qualifying right to have a team? Anybody?
No. Yeah, it could be anybody. There's no hunch at all. I mean, at least I haven't heard any rumors or anything, but we can fairly say it's going to be Ahmedabad, or whether they call it Gujarat or Ahmedabad or whatever.
Yeah, that's one for sure.
The other team, I think we have enough from the south already. I don't see Kerala or Pune coming again. I feel it could be a UP team like a Lucknow or a Kanpur, or one left field call that I could make is because of that controversy last year from Pakistan. I'm guessing there could be a Kashmir team.
Dharmshala,
exactly. So, way north, call it Himalaya or Kashmir or whatever, and, just to get that Kashmir back into Indian land.
They should, and also Dharmshala is a good place to play cricket as well.
I think wonderful team, wonderful ground.
It's my favorite ground, and it does a lot. The weather does a lot at that time.
Yeah, or who knows? No, I think Dhoni is staying in CSK. If not, I was also thinking of Ranchi or something, but
no.
Ranchi.
See, the steel town again. You want some unique. Dharmshala would be probably
Dharmshala and Ahmedabad. But again, logistics wise, I mean, is Dharmshala ready to host like 7 games and have a home team and get all those? Yeah, let's see. But yeah, I mean, it would be fun.
Realistically, I think probably Pune, right? Because they had a team before.
They have 2 teams already.
Yeah, I know they do. I think it's tough to go. Who is the other? Technically, Jaipur doesn't have a team, right? It's Rajasthan, but
Rajasthan.
Jaipur, their home ground.
Do they play at Jaipur? Okay.
Yeah, that's their home team, home ground.
Got it.
What about Chandigarh, guys?
Punjab, right? Punjab, that they play in Chandigarh, Mohali.
Mohali, yeah.
Yeah, Mohali, yeah. True.
Punjab and Haryana. It's a combo team.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't know how practically possible with the Himachal Pradesh or Kashmir, but I strongly think it could be a UP team. I think
let's go. You know what? Your ಎಂಟು ಟೀಮ್ ಇದೆ, 7 ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಟನ್ ಇದ್ದೇ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಕೊಹ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಧೋನಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. So
there's a big bidding war for Rahul by CSK and RCB. So
and the new teams, honestly, the new teams too. I mean, unless
but yeah, apparently one thing I heard about the retention is I think they are going to allow 4 retentions per team.
Correct.
Maximum of 2 foreigners, and then after 8 teams have retained, the 2 new teams will be allowed to pick 4 players from the rest of the players first. And when it's all 4 each or whatever it is, the auction begins.
And is there any right to match or no right to match this time around?
Yeah, nothing's confirmed yet, but
yeah,
I think
4 is a lot.
Also 4 in total with maybe you can go 2 retained.
Let's say Rahul goes to Dharmshala. I mean, let's say it was a conversation. Okay, so he's making about 15 crores. Do they match that? They can up it or what?
I think there will be those caps, just like what Gujarat and Pune did when CSK and RR were banned. So yeah, we could see the same thing. I think they will have the cap for what would be the salary cap for the first retainer and the second one, and
obviously KKR is going to retain Venkatesh Iyer, probably 10 crores. Who knows?
Yeah, he's the future. So I think Gill and Iyer could be definitely there. Okay, so now back to our favorite team, RCB. What do you think will be the retention? I mean, assuming it's 4.
Yeah, everything I read said 3, so I was thinking 3, but 4 makes me happy because then we can actually retain who we want.
Yeah, I mean 4 could be including right to match. I don't know, but
Right.
so I have a feeling it's the end of ABD.
I think so too.
I
think
think now
because-
I think that spot that was always reserved for ABD is now Maxwell. I think RCB is going to retain Maxwell.
Yeah, they have to.
And Kohli is
you
in there
know
as
what?
well.
I think the new team will take Kohli.
Kohli
would
is
be
in
good.
RCB. No way.
You know what? I don't know. I don't think so.
Nah, it's more than just the cricket skills or captaincy or whatever. It's the brand.
the brand.
Kohli and RCB. Kohli will retire as an RCBian.
Yeah.
That's written.
We're stuck with him, good or bad, right?
I know.
Oh my
yeah,
God,
like
you know
him,
what?
like him or not, he's
I'm
going
harsh
to be
with that.
there. He will win a trophy with under some other captain. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So do you think they're going to keep Kohli for what?
The brand.
Just
Brian,
asking a
I
question.
mean, it's not like he's the worst player in the
He's not the
country.
worst player, but
Yeah,
but
so
They have to keep him.
why not keep him? I mean, he's there for another 3-4 years for sure. So
I mean, it would
then,
be.
then you have to keep Padikkal as well. Give him
No.
a good race.
I doubt it.
I don't think they're going to keep him. They
I mean,
want them
they
to,
can still buy him, but I don't think he will be retained.
So
as
in the 4 retention, yaar
for me, it would be Kohli, Maxwell, Chahal, and Siraj.
Chahal.
Yuzvendra, of course.
Yeah,
Okay.
He is the best bowler in Chinnaswamy. Period.
he is.
So, I mean, eventually IPL has to come back to India, and I think, you need him there.
And also, mind you, India wickets are different, completely different, and it has some this thing. I like IPL in India anyway because it brings out the best in everybody and under different circumstances.
Yeah.
Do
Absolutely. I mean, it has to
you
come
think
back.
it's not worth retaining Harshal because you can buy him for cheaper on the market?
So. Yeah, I think so. I think Siraj will go for a higher premium. Yes, Harshal had a bumper season, but again, it's probably his best ever. I don't think he can top this again.
Yeah.
Right. So we can still buy him, but I don't think it's a big loss if he's not, because there are other bowlers just like him. It's just that Harshal and RCB were lucky that it coincided this year, but Siraj is probably the more consistent future bowler, and I mean he
can give another 3-4 years to Bangalore.
Yeah, more than that. Siraj can give you more. I mean,
well, at least with the form and everything else.
Yeah, so I mean he could be to Bangalore what Bumrah is for Bombay. I mean, not as that impact, but
so I just want to have who is the 4 for Bombay for you guys, because there's a lot more than 4 there.
Again for the brand they will keep Rohit, but I wouldn't keep Rohit at this time. But Rohit, Bumrah for sure. Bumrah will be the first name
for sure. I think they may let Pollard go actually.
Pollard, yes. Yeah, they'll probably buy him back if in case, but no Krunal. I don't know if about Hardik, if he's going to. I mean,
probably it'll be a shame if they can protect Hardik. They should not.
Yeah.
Under the current form.
Maybe Ishan Kishan.
I think they might keep Ishan Kishan for keeping.
Because Surya is 30 plus, so I don't know about Surya.
I don't think they keep him.
Yeah, I mean they can still buy him again, but I don't know if he will be in the original retainer list. Ishan for sure, because he's a keeper. He's potential captaincy material.
Opener also.
Opener, keeper, very very young. I think he's under 25. I don't know. So I mean, he's the future. So
okay, Bengaluru Kohli retention ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, Maxwell retain ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, Chahal and Siraj. ಯಾರ್ captain ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬರ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ?
You buy KL.
You need to go all in for KL or maybe Shreyas Iyer from Delhi if they don't retain him, or there are many. Or maybe Warner. I'm sure Warner is going out of our.
Warner is that's what I was thinking.
Warner will be nice. Having Warner and Kohli in the same team. Oh boy.
Then you have an opener in him and a captain. I mean, that's one thing we have not talked about at all, even just privately, is this just the treatment of Warner by
Yes, let's talk about it. I have that.
Did you see his interview?
It's
saw that.
been pathetic.
Nobody
Terrible management.
knows. Nobody knows what has transpired, but
Yeah.
looks like he was. It felt like he's being punished for something.
Correct.
Yeah, and it's not just batting form or whatever. I think looks like there was some breach of trust or whatever. There is something underneath which is not coming out, and that's okay. I mean, they want to preserve that, and like what goes on in dressing room, whatever. But there's something that has happened which may or may not come out, which may come out after the season or next year when he's officially out of the team. Maybe there will be more talk about it.
So are you guys saying that Williamson is going to be retained by Sarkey and be the captain?
100%.
I doubt it.
I think he is. You don't think so? I mean, who else do they have? They have nobody else to retain.
But the thing is,
They have
15 crores for Williamson is too much, I think. You can always buy him back for less than that.
So in that case, SRH might be one of those teams where they don't retain anybody and they might start from scratch then. I think that's how they're going to go.
Probably. Abhishek Sharma, maybe. But again, 15 crores, I don't know. Maybe Rashid Khan. I think they will definitely keep Rashid Khan. And Bhuvanesh. If maybe Bhuvaneshwar too. But I mean, again, it's the max. You don't have to keep anybody. I mean, so
yeah.
You can always start scratch. I
feel because they need a captaincy material, and Williamson fits in the category.
Could be.
But I think his batting needs to, right? Like
I know, but for me, I cannot have Ken Williamson in all my T20 games. Making him a captain is kind of a liability that one spot is always taken.
KKR, are they going to keep Morgan as captain?
Nah.
I think they let him go.
They'll let him go too. Just for the captaincy, I don't think you can just keep him. I mean, again, they can buy him back again for cheaper, but
make him captain again.
Because they already have. Worst case, they already have. I'm sure they will keep Shubman Gill, and he can be a captain too.
Yeah, so, I think they retain Chakravarti and Iyer and Shubman. I think those are the three, and then they'll start with that and see where they go. But they have to retain their youth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, mind you, I'm a big fan of Morgan. Obviously, without him, they wouldn't have been. I mean, let's face it. Again, he has not scored runs, but it didn't really matter because they have not lost runs because he didn't score. They have, it didn't really matter whether he scored 1 or 10, 20, 50, whatever. Let's say if he gets some runs in the World Cup.
Maybe he'll be the man of the match tomorrow.
Yeah.
You never know.
No, but I still don't think they're going to waste, especially because it's a foreign spot.
Yeah. That's the only thing.
That's why I'm skeptical about both Kane and Morgan.
Yeah,
and it's also
because you're right.
Because you have to be. I mean, I'm pretty sure CSK is not going to retain Faf even.
Mm-hmm.
Although he had his best season this time. I mean, maybe second best. I think 2018 he and Watson did amazingly well. I mean, not Watson. Watson did great only in the final. But Faf was amazing. Faf has been amazing for the last couple of years, even more than he's been for South Africa. Right?
I think if most teams are not going to retain someone based on captaincy, right? Unless you have like an amazing captain, because there's so many captains to go around from Delhi, right? They have 5 people that can captain a team. You have Rahane.
I tweeted about it. They have. Yeah. I don't think. I have a feeling.
Rahane maybe not.
I have a feeling Rahane will go unsold.
Maybe.
Or maybe in the second round or third round, he will just go for like 50 lakhs.
What?
But there's 5 other players that can be captain, right? Shah can captain, Ashwin can captain. Yeah, Dhawan can still captain. Steve Smith can captain if you want. Like, there's 6-7 players that can captain. And any team can go get them.
Yeah, Delhi has a great core. Actually, I think. Delhi and Mumbai will feel the loss of this new shuffle.
Yeah.
Because they had an excellent core and, they've been performing.
So are they going to are you saying they're going to keep Pant and Shreyas Iyer there?
Not sure about Shreyas.
I don't think so.
I hope they don't, because if we can't get, if RCB can't get Rahul, I don't mind having Shreyas there as the future captain for RCB. So anyway, I mean there are good foreign candidates as well for captaincy, but again, it won't be. I don't think Maxwell will ever be a captain.
No.
But I have a feeling they're going to retain Maxwell the way he has performed this year, and I mean, that even if he steps out, he will not go anything less than 15-16 crores anyway.
Yeah.
So might as well just pay him and keep him there. I mean, because
So let's say they retain whoever, okay? Are they paid the same amount of money they paid before, or do they have to?
No. There's the thing. Like if you retain only one, there will be some amount. Second guy will be a slightly lower, because I mean, so what happened last time in the mega auction was, 3. You could retain up to 3, and 2 right to match. So up to 3, if you retain one person, it's 15 crores. Second was 11, and third one was 8.
Okay.
So that's how it was. I mean, I don't know if that will be the final salary, but that's the cap that is taken out of your pot when it comes to auction.
Oh, okay.
That way, if you retain only one, so I think there was a maximum of 85 crores per team to go into the auction, and then if you have retained all 3, then you lose 34 crores already out of just for 3 people. So that's how it was, and then you can always have two right to match. But I mean, again, because of 2 more teams, all this is speculation. We don't know the final retention quantity and the right to match. Maybe there's no right to match. Who knows? I don't know. So, but again,
so still
that's the thing. Because Rahul is out, because Rahul is now in the pool, and the 2 teams get the 2 new teams get that free shot, I have a feeling he's gone. He's going to the new team. I mean, Rahul will be the first pick for anybody, in the available pool.
That's right. He doesn't have any say in his future. That's the unfortunate part.
Yeah. CSK needs a new captain, new player. I have a feeling Dhoni will just play 1 game in Chennai for free. He will not even be retained or whatever, because I don't see him playing for 3 years anyway. So it should probably
No, he's done.
He'll probably be in the coaching staff, but he will just play 1 game. The first home game, just for the Chennai crowd. I think they deserve it as well. So maybe.
You know what? Maybe he should fight for getting Rahul there and groom him, and it's under other.
That's what I was thinking. It's very enticing to get him to RCB, but I have a feeling if he's going to be the future Indian captain for his own good, I think it's better if he's in CSK than RCB. The way he'll be nurtured, with Dhoni and Fleming, and he could be a fantastic captain for India too. So maybe, but it's hard to see Rahul in yellow jersey though. He's been always been in red, with Bangalore and Punjab.
That's right.
I know, that's true. That's true.
All right.
So what's tomorrow? Let's talk about tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Who are we
all
going?
right. What do you want to pick? Any more details or just the winner?
First, let's think if someone's going to pass KL for orange cap.
Ruturaj.
Ruturaj needs 23 runs.
And
Faf needs about 60 or something. So it's possible, maybe both, maybe one of them.
What was is there some, you may know from Twitter and stuff, but is there some curse that the orange cap never makes it to the finals or something like that?
Only one orange cap winner has won the trophy. And that is Robin Uthappa for KKR.
Wow.
Yeah, he's the only orange cap holder to lift the trophy as well. Purple caps have been many, including I think Bhuvan, Bumrah, Sohail Tanvir first season for Rajasthan, and Bravo for Chennai. But yeah, no other orange capper.
So Rahul will be the orange cap. Both of them are not going to get the required number of runs. I'll tell you that right now.
All right.
Yeah.
What do you say?
I unfortunately think Gaikwad is going to get it. I mean, not to accuse him of this, but I think, when you need 20 runs, he might go about it a little slowly, knowing that it's not that hard to get if he's a little patient.
I don't think he will go for the orange cap. He might end up being it, but I'm with Somo. I think Rahul will retain the orange cap.
I hope so. I want him to retain that.
I hope Rutu has a fantastic first over, 8 ball 20 and gets out.
Yeah. Was Kale, he was orange cap last year? Or was he second? Did he get second?
Here.
1 year in the last 4 years, he was second, I think. And he won at least one other one, I remember.
Last year was also Rahul. Yeah, last year Rahul.
Year before, maybe he was second. Yeah, Warner was first in 2019. And maybe it was
Rahul was second. Yeah, Rahul was second. Oh, well, Warner was 100 runs ahead of Rahul.
Yeah.
In 19.
Has anybody scored 626?
Virat Kohli 973.
Almost everyone has scored more. I have the list here. 626 is nothing compared to every year.
Yeah.
You had Gale score 733 in 2012. Hussey score 733 in 13. Uttappa scored 660 in 14.
660. So in
Kohli,
2016, I mean that's still the record. 973 by Kohli with 400s.
Yep.
But second placed Warner in 2016 is also all-time second. It's 773 or something.
Oh my God.
Williamson had 735 and 18.
Right. But in 16, you can see Warner had 848. Sorry.
No.
Warner was 790 something, and then he scored a 50 or a 60 in the final. So Warner had 848, which is still, so the number 1 and number 2 of 2016 is all-time number 1 and 2.
Which year was this?
2016.
Oh wow! It says. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's right. It was neck and neck.
I know.
How can you score 800 and still lose?
Exactly. So Kohli had 400s and 750s, while Warner had 950s.
Wow.
They ended up winning. They are the only team. Oh, by the way, so SRH in 2016 is the only team who were placed 3rd or 4th, and they were 4th, to win all 3 playoffs games.
That's what
KKR can do tomorrow.
Yeah, and KKR is only the 3rd team to come to the final after winning 2 playoffs. And CSK was the first one in 2012, but they lost to KKR. So this will be.
What place was RCB coming into 2016 final?
Second.
They were second coming in.
They beat Gujarat Lions in the first qualifier and went straight to finals. But then SRH beat KKR and then Gujarat and then, of course.
Something told me that they needed to win every single game to make it to the playoffs or something in 2016, and then they snuck in. Was that 16 or was it a different season?
That was actually RCB too. Like RCB had only 4 wins out of the first 9 games or so. Well, no, 3 wins out of the first 9 games. And then they won the remaining 5.
In 16.
And
they made it to second place?
Second place, of course.
Wow.
So because I thought they just snuck in. The run rate keeps on increasing when you keep winning. So they won the last 5 games, and they also won the first qualifier and boom, went to finals. And that's it. In the finals, I was just looking at the scorecard and I had forgotten about it. So Hyderabad scored 208 and RCB were 110 for no loss in 10 overs.
That's right. My God, really? It was a cakewalk, and they totally messed up.
We thought it's going to be, and they ended up scoring 200, but I mean the game was gone, because
it was sad.
Who opened
look at that. In 2016, AB de Villiers was 3rd place at 687 runs.
Oh my God!
The run fest. It's different, right? When you're in India, it's a little easier to score in India, I think. So your runs have gone down a lot in the UAE for sure.
But last year was good though. Last year in UAE, it was pretty good. In Dubai, I mean, especially in Sharjah. I mean, they relayed a lot in Sharjah, just like Bangalore did in 2017. But I don't understand why Sharjah needed that, drainage system or whatever. Like when I don't know when it will rain in Sharjah, but so they did something. They did something this year to the ground, which has drastically brought down the scoring ability there. All right.
And
Luckily,
also the wicket looks
India
so
is not
different.
playing any game in Sharjah for this World Cup. The 5 round games, they are playing 4 in Dubai, 1 in Abu Dhabi, and that's it. And then the semi-finals are again Dubai and Abu Dhabi, and final is in Dubai. So I think because Sharjah, it was more of a lottery, I guess. But
Yeah, I know. It's
KKR lost all 3 games in Sharjah last year, but they won all 4 this year. It's a completely different team. But,
turnaround, huh?
yeah.
So if KKR wins tomorrow, what kind of a record they will set up? Because there were 7 coming in.
3-0. They will be 3-0 in finals, and CSK will be losing their 7th final.
Oh, yeah.
Bad record in the finals, to be honest.
Dhoni is playing his 10th final tomorrow, including one for Pune in 2017. So it's his 10th
he's won
final.
how many? He's
3.
won 3. So he's 3-7.
3-6 so
3-6.
far.
Might be
3-6. Chennai is 3-5. Dhoni is 3-6. KKR is 2-0.
That's right.
So yeah, lots to look for.
Do you think Uttapa plays?
If Raina is fit, I don't know.
Yeah.
He should play, no? He should play. I mean, even Raina is fit. He should play.
Because it's the same ground as well, Dubai, and he did.
You go with form too.
Yeah,
not only that, Raina hasn't done anything prior to this anyway.
I have a feeling if Raina is fit, he might replace Raidu, and they will keep Uttapa. Because
Raidu's found it difficult. He hasn't scored many runs.
Raidu hasn't done anything either. I mean, last year and this year in UAE. So
yeah.
Raina is a big match player. I think if he's 90% fit, you can see a good 30-40 at least from him. You never know. One last hurrah.
Can he still field?
It's probably his last game too, if he's fit tomorrow.
Yeah, I think he's done.
Or maybe Gujarat team will take him back for 20 lakhs.
Yeah. Can he still field or no?
Where is Pushi going to go? 50 lakhs.
All right. So that's kind of a wrap for the IPL 2021. Final will be 11 hours away. Good luck to both the teams, Dhoni CSK and Morgan's KKR. And we'll be back for the World Cup next week, which begins
KKR will win, and Venkatesh Iyer is the man of the match.
All right. Vinay, what's your take?
I want KKR to win. I feel like CSK will win, but I'll go with KKR because I'd rather, them win. And my man of the match will probably be Chakravarti.
All right. I'm going with CSK and Jadeja.
Wow.
Sounds good.
All right. Let's see. It's Dubai. So you can see 160 plus for sure.
Yeah. So
chasing or defending?
I would always chase every final, to be honest.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, Morgan wins a toss and bats. I mean, balls, huh?
No, I think both the captains are very bat first oriented captains. But I have a feeling the chasing team will win it. So let's see. You never know.
Look, I want a good game. That's all. I mean,
yeah, exactly. I don't have a favorite.
I don't like a one-sided game at all. Like a 160 and 127, something like that. Or 127 all out and or whatever, and they are like past 3 down or whatever.
For that, you need Mumbai and CSK, where Mumbai will sneak in and win it by 1 run. Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have a good game, and it's really good, and I'm looking forward to that. And it'll be good if KKR wins. Yeah.
Cool. Any we'll have a official call regarding World Cup, but any quick word on the World Cup? Any do you have your top 4 or the orange cap or?
I'm
Orange
just
cap.
more.
I don't know the batsman well enough to put the orange cap right now. I don't have that because I'm thinking, to me, West Indies, England, India, and Pakistan.
You can't argue with that.
Say that again. Which ones?
India, Pakistan, England, and West Indies.
Yeah, I think so. I think the 4th one is hard with Pakistan is probably the top 3 are easy.
I don't know how West Indies will do this time. They're always a force in T20, but
look, the reason I'm telling, when you look at the individual 11, I tell you they're phenomenal with the IPL.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah, they are the T20 mercenaries, right? I mean, they're all over the world. They're the stars in every league. IPL, BBL, CPL, PSL, whatever it is.
Not only that, everybody's performing everywhere. Okay,
my only worry is it's almost like a Frankenstein team there. There's a lot of individual superstars, but of late they have not played together at all as a West Indian team.
Yeah, true.
And they're very batting heavy and not bowling. There's no bowling there.
And their recent record in T20 has been bad. I mean, they're currently ranked 9th for a reason.
Yeah,
they made it to the automatic choice because they are the defending champions. If not, they should be playing the qualifiers that starts tomorrow or day after, because 8th placed Afghanistan ended up into the qualifiers because West Indies at 9 got a free pass as defending champions. And of course, India got a free pass as a host, but they are 2nd rank, so no denying that. But so they went with top 8, but then West Indies had to sneak in past number 8 Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And now the remaining 3 teams, and then there was a divisional qualifiers where PNG and Ireland joined in. So it's going to be interesting. We'll have 4.
Who is leading West Indies?
Pollard.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know how he gets them all together, unlike Sammy did remember, Sammy is like the Clive Lloyd of T20 now. He has won 2 times as a captain, right? So, let's see.
Think about it. Hetmeyer, okay?
Hetmeyer, Pooran. Gale is still there.
Jason.
I don't know how Gale. Is Holder in the team? I don't know.
Yeah, Jason Holder in the team. Yeah.
Narayan is not there. Big news.
Narayan is not there. No.
Arun
Lewis, that opener for whoever it is.
Two big stars of the IPL who are not selected in their own teams are Faf du Plessis and Narayan.
I mean, why did they not pick Faf? Did he retire from one day too, or 2020?
No.
I think it's a shame. They should have picked him. He's doing quite well, to be honest.
Yeah. But again, he's also someone like Dhoni, right? I mean, he does great in IPL, but I mean, he's had a poor record in national colors as well. So
yeah,
never know. Any word on the Indian selection? Tomorrow is the last day. Do you see any change?
I don't think so. I'm very, very disappointed with the Indian team at the moment. So I mean, I don't think there's going to be a change, or else why would they have announced the one that they just announced? I think you leave that if you were going to make any more changes. But I think if this is what it is, I think it's extremely poor selection.
I'm glad.
What change do you want to see?
Oh man, so many.
So many.
I would drop somebody. So any spinner you guys can pick, but I would absolutely put Chahal in there.
Yeah, especially because of the UAE and the recency of it and the way he has performed. Exactly. But I mean, I see the point. He's been poor, to be fair, before this IPL, including last year's IPL and for India. And, Rahul Chahar had a great year last year. So they went with it. And then, so I think they did not want to make that change just from the IPL because it could send wrong signals saying, so what happened to all my good performances before?
Yeah.
Or, the day you selected, you thought I was better. And then just for these 7 games where, but again, he was not even picked in Mumbai team. So that's my concern for Rahul Chahar. Maybe he rejuvenates and, with the team and, maybe with,
I know it's a lack
I
of
still
variety.
don't see Ashwin playing any match.
There is a lack of variety. I would get Ashwin out of there and bring in Chahar.
Yeah, but my theory is having Ashwin is because, unfortunately, we don't have a second good off spinner in the country for now, and I think it's just a matchup, and I don't see him playing all the games, maybe not even a single game, but it could be just a matchup depending on, say, like South Africa or England or some team which are notorious for playing spin, and they have too many left-handers.
And West Indies has too many left-handers anyway, no matter how you look at it.
Maybe West Indies. Sure, you never know. So he could be one matchup for West Indies game. That's it. And again, India and West Indies are in different groups. So only if they play a semi-final or a final. But again, will you risk bringing him on a knockout game? That's another thing. So he could just be there just to silence him from talking bad about the team management and his non-selection in England or whatever it is. I think there's more to it than just the cricketing skill there for Ashwin's selection. But
so what are the odds you give?
But I'm okay with Shardul replacing Akshar, because I don't think Akshar would have played any game anyway.
No, he wouldn't have played.
Because Jadeja is not an injury-prone guy. He will play forever. I mean, he'll probably play at the age of 45, and he would still be the best fielder.
As much as he was not going to play, I still think he deserved a spot on the team, and I just don't think that he should be the fall man for Hardik's, not being able to bowl.
I don't think so. I don't think it is anything to do with Hardik. It was, I think, they had Akshar as a backup for Jadeja. But now that Jadeja did well in the IPL as well, they got that confidence that, okay, I think we'll have Jadeja all the time, especially now that Hardik is not going to be the all-rounder. You cannot have Akshar as the only all-rounder.
Look, this is where the Bombay thing comes into the picture. Hardik is not going to bowl. We all know that. Hardik has not scored 5 runs in the IPL. We know that. And he didn't do well at all in Sri Lanka either. We know that. So why is he being in the team at all?
The same can be said about, people hate me for saying this, but Ishan Kishan, for example, right? Like, I get he's young, I get he's the future and all this, but when you already have Pant and you also have KL Rahul as a backup keeper, I don't know, and as an opener, I don't see Kishan playing. And
exactly. I don't think Ishan Kishan is in your first 11. He's just
there.
He's a backup batsman or a keeper, who could be he's actually a fantastic floater. He can open, he can be in the middle order, he can keep. He's a pretty decent fielder as well. But I think
Sky is out of form too.
Yeah, but I still think Surya will be in the starting 11. And again, this could be blasphemous, but I feel I don't have room for both Rohit and Kohli in my 11 in a T20 game. In a T20 game, because both are quite anchoring kind of people, they need 10, 15 balls to settle. And I think that era is past. You need someone like Iyer or Rutu or whoever it is who can just start blasting from far. Including Prithvi Shah, even if he stays for 2 hours. So we need, I think, having Rohit open and then, I don't know, Kohli at probably 3. I think they're going with Rohit and Rahul, but my ideal 11 would be Rahul and Ishan Kishan at the top. With Kohli, Pant, Rohit, just to get that right and left.
If Rohit is not opening, I would have him in 11.
Rohit was coming in the first edition of World Cup 2007. He was coming at number 5 or 6, and between with him and Uthappa, Rohit did pretty well, and including for Deccan Chargers in the initial first 2 years of IPL. I mean, he was never the opener. He started opening only like 4 or 5 years into Mumbai, right? Especially when he started opening for India with Dhoni's hunch in 2013. So, yeah, I mean, I cannot see 36 for no loss or 45 for 1 in the power play anymore. I think you need to go for like 55 for 1 or 60 or whatever.
If you're not going to play Rohit as an opener, I wouldn't have him in the team at all.
I know, exactly. I mean, I wouldn't have him in my T20 at all, but I know he's going to play. I mean, there's no doubting, right? I mean, until Kohli and Rohit retire, I mean, that's one thing that we have to live with. So Sky Pant will come. So Rohit, Rahul, Kohli, Sky, Pant, probably Hardik. I mean, if Hardik can bat, I still feel Hardik as a batsman alone can be better than, these Shreyas Iyers and other batsmen that we have.
I like the way Jadeja's been batting. I would rather play Jadeja.
Jadeja's batting. He's the most improved Indian batsman in last 2 years for people in all formats.
Now, look, I don't know whether you saw in the test, he batted with such a discipline in England, it's not easy to bat with that discipline in England, and he did.
He did. I mean, he's been doing well. I mean, including in the tests and ODIs everywhere. I think he's been the most improved.
I mean, improved in a he's absolutely a frontline batsman in a lot of ways, for the simple reason, if you can hang there in any English wicket for an hour, that says a lot about the batsman.
In English wicket, this summer, when it was really like heaven for swinging,
wobbly,
this year, he came at 5 ahead of Rahane. Remember that. He came ahead of Rahane.
He came ahead of Rahane in Oval. We saw that.
Pretty well. I still don't know what happens to the last test, but I mean, it's India series to lose now. I mean,
once the 3 down, I thought we are expecting Rahane to come out, and Jaddu comes out. Wait a minute, what's happening?
Exactly. I don't know if it was just a right-left thing or was there?
No. I think they had so much more confidence. But guess what? He stood there forever. He did not get out. He was playing beautifully well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right, lots to talk about again. We'll come back with exclusive discussion on the World Cup moving forward. This is a wrap for IPL. We'll probably mention about the final when we begin next week. But thanks, Somu. Thanks, Vinay.
Thank you, Pa.
And